taking my little coughs, but I just felt that I just had this strong thought, and I'd meditated over it for some time, and I felt someone is going to benefit from it, someone is going to be blessed. I remembered when my dad was very ill, and that was about a couple of years now, not too long ago, but it's still very fresh on my mind. And when he was very sick, there's some nights that I would go to the basement and I would just be saddened in my spirit. I'll just be sad within me, and I couldn't understand why I had those feelings of sadness and why I felt down. Just this impression that something was going to happen to him, and I couldn't put my hand on. I couldn't put my finger on it. And one of those days, I went downstairs, and as I was meditating and thinking and worrying, of course, and praying. So, of course, I think I meditate, I worry, and then I remember that worrying is not going to solve anything, and worrying is not going to change the situation. And rather than for me to worry with myself, I can just take it to God in prayer. Rather than having that self conversation, I can have a conversation with God, the owner of heaven and the earth, and the one that can change any situation, and the one that can give me the peace that I was looking for. And one of those days, as I was just praying like that, I couldn't sleep. And I don't know, it was maybe a weekend, maybe Friday night to Saturday night. So, or Saturday to Sunday. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. But that day I was very sad. And so as I was praying, as I was meditating, I usually think when I'm really in this place where words are not enough, usually a song will come to me, and the song just helps me. It's my way of communicating with God, and it's a way of me feeling that healing. Songs can be healing. Songs can just release the tension. And one of the songs that came to me at that time and was coming to me all that time until my father passed away was "Look for Me." Okay, when you finally, hi Liz VR, and that song says, when you finally make your entrance to that city of Jasper Wall and bright golden avenue. I'm wondering if I should sing it, because as I'm saying it, I kind of forget it. When you finally make your entrance to the city of Jasper Wall and bright golden avenue, and when you think, let me see if I can find the lyrics. I used to sing it a lot before he passed. And the title of the song is "Look for Me." You can look for it yourself, and it's very soothing, it's very relaxing, and it's comforting. So if I get the song, I'll just tell you. I know the chorus just go, "Look for me, for I will be there too. I realize when you arrive, there'll be so much to view. After you've been there 10,000 years, a million, maybe two. Look for me, for I will be there too." One son Samuel. Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? Yeah, so that song was a song that carried me through that time in my life. And I think it was God's way of telling me that it was going to pass. But my mind did not want to agree that was going to really happen. And I think the stanza says, when you finally make your entrance to that city of Jasper Wall and bright golden avenues, as you behold all of its beauty and its splendor, remember there's just one request I make of you. And then it goes to the chorus, "Look for me, for I will be there too. I realize when you arrive, there'll be so much to view. After you've been there 10,000 years, a million, maybe two. Look for me, for I will be there too. So he was just saying that that it was a daughter talking to her dad and telling him to look for her because when he gets to the other side that she'll be there too. But here is the reason why I'm actually having this conversation. And it was this passage that came to me this evening, John chapter 16, verse 32 and 33. But I'm just going to mention the last part of this verse. And it says, in the world, you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. It just tells you that God, Jesus, did not leave us lonely. He didn't leave us without a comforter. And it just reminds us that in this world, there is going to be a lot of tribulation, there's going to be a lot of problems. The world, things can go well for someone at a time, and then all of a sudden, there's going to be some hard times, some difficult times, some challenges. But just know that you are not left alone. God did not leave you alone. He is always watching out for you. We have the Holy Spirit who is there to comfort us, to strengthen us, to cheer us up. And that's a very beautiful thing about being a Christian. And for me, Christianity is not a religion, it's more of a way of life. It's just me having that supreme being, that great person that I can speak to, that I can come to in prayers and talk to him and pour out my heart and bear my heart. You see, if you've never been through challenges in life, you never understand the peace that comes from having someone to talk to and believing that that person you're talking to is listening to you and that person can bring a solution to your problem. He said, in this world, you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. Be of good cheer. I don't know what anyone is going through at this time in your life. I don't know the problems that you have. I don't know the loss that you're experiencing. I don't know the trap that you feel you're in. Some people just sit down and they feel that they're entrapped. They feel that there's no way out. They feel that they are stuck. They feel that nothing is working out. And that happens. Everyone has gone through, and maybe not everyone, but I know that I have gone through some stages in my life where I felt trapped. I felt there was no way out. I felt there was no solution because I tried everything in my book, everything in my box, everything that I knew how to do, but it wasn't working out. I had prayed and it looked like God wasn't answering. I had tried to do things differently. I had tried to get help from people. I had tried to, think of other ways to do it, to think that, okay, maybe I'm doing it the wrong way. I need to change my tactics. Because I came to a point in my life where I was just stuck. It looked like everything was not working out. But when I got to that point in my life, there is one place that I always go to, and that's God. I go back to God. I go back to the creator of heaven and earth. I go back to the one that formed me in the belly of my mom, to the one that has charted my path, to the one that knows the end from the beginning. I go back to the one that sits in heaven and the earth is his footstool. I go back to God. I always go back to God. I always turn back to God because I know that when everything is failing, when everything is collapsing around me, I can always talk to God about it. The psalmist said, I lift my eyes onto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the one who made the heaven and the earth. That's very deep. And you get to a crossroad in your life and you look up and down and sideways, and you look to friends and you look to family and you look to loved ones, and you cannot find any help. and you cannot do anything, that's the right time to lift up your eyes onto the hills from whence comes your help. And your help will always come from the one who made the heaven and the earth. He has not left us alone. Just try to talk to God about your problems. Talk to God about your challenges. Talk to God about how you feel. Sometimes you talk to men and you don't get the solution. You talk to women and you don't get the solution. You talk to friends and you don't get the solution. You talk to everyone that you know and you don't get the solution. That's the right time to speak to the one that you don't see, that is always there. That's the one to go back to, the one that holds our life in his hands, that holds the whole world in his hand, the one that knows you from the beginning to the end, the one that molds and remold you, the one that created you, the one that knows your future. I don't know if you know that song. This little girl, she's having a conversation with her mom and she's asking her mom, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be taller? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? And she said, Que sera, sera. Someone said it's a song that is about faith, F-A-T-E. About that, our life should be more about faith, F-A-I-T-H. And I don't believe in faith. I believe in faith. I believe in faith in God. I believe that anything that you commit to God, He will always take care of it. Anything at all, anything that you commit to God, He'll always take care of it. And you cannot go as a failure. You cannot be struggling if you have God by your side. That one I can tell you for a fact. No matter where you are, no matter where you find yourself, no matter how hard the situation, trust me, if you put your faith in God, you will not travel alone. He will watch every step of the way. He will make every crooked way in your life to be straight. He'll just sort your life around. He just knows how to help you. And sometimes you struggling with faith. You're struggling and wondering if everything that you're doing is worth it. But just know that it is worth it. And sometimes you lose motivation. You don't know if you can keep going on because times are so difficult and you've lost everything that's got motivation. And just know that you're not alone. We've all been there. And I see days that I'm there. There are days that I'm like, oh my God, I'm struggling. I don't know what to do. Sometimes I even tell God, look, I feel like I'm drowning. Like I'm overwhelmed. One day I just sat down on the chair and I went outside on the deck. And I sat on the chair, I was staring at the floor. I was just confused. I was just lost. I was just wondering how I was going to continue to go on, to move on with life. And my life just felt like it was being ripped apart, piece by piece. I remember the time when I lost my job and everything was just hard. My plans were falling apart because I had plans like so and so time I'll do this, I'll do that. And everything seemed like a mountain I couldn't climb. But something happened that changed everything. At the time when I lost complete hope, one application that I had made a long time ago, I think I didn't even apply. I don't think I even applied to that place. I think I just filled the form online, and I was meant to submit my resume, but I never did. And all of a sudden, they just reached out to me. They just reached out to me and they told me that I was invited for an interview. And then I went for the interview, not knowing what I was going to expect. It was a job I never expected I would get. And I did the interview. They said they were going to get back to me in 2 weeks. And in less than 2 weeks, they sent me an invitation that I was going to start work just on so time if I still wanted the job. And that was how I got a better job, a much more better job than the one that I lost. And I went from there, from that job to another better job, to another better job, until where I am today. From ground zero to, whoa, this is a good job, to another, wow, this is a great job, until I, ooh, it's only God that can do that. And that was how I went from one step to another. And that night, I just realized something. I realized that God knows how to take all your ashes and make beauty out of it. Beauty out of ashes. And for those who are discouraged, finding motivation and faith is not about waiting for life to get easier. It's not about having it all put together. It's about choosing to grow. It's about choosing to hold on to what you know is solid and it's not going to shake. Even in the hardest of seasons, you can choose to grow, or you can choose to stay at the same point where you are. And I just want to remind someone that you can grow. You can grow in spite of what is going on. Have you seen a beautiful flower grow in the middle of stones around it? And you'll be wondering, how did this flower get enough water to grow? How did it get even space to grow? All you need to do is shift your focus. Take away your focus from the problem. Stop looking at the problem that is in front of you, but start looking at the possibilities that you can find, and try to look out for lemonade in spite of the lemons that you have in front of you. When life feels very overwhelming, we always, or oftentimes, we focus on the problem, we focus on the challenge in front of us, and we forget to ask, what's one small thing I can do today? What is one small thing? Not the big problem that is in front of us, not the big challenge that is in front of us, but what's one singular thing that I can do today? One thing that at the end of the day, I'll feel like I've made progress, even if it's not a lot. Those are what they call baby steps. If you do that one thing and you do it well, you've done something great. You've taken one baby step, and baby steps are very little steps, almost unnoticeable, but they're still steps. You see a baby when it's coming towards you, they're like tiny little steps, but give the baby some time, he'll get to where he's going. That's what they call baby steps, and every step that you take is a step towards making you better than what you were yesterday. So, even in the tiniest of step forward that you're taking, tiniest things like getting out of your bed, getting out of that dark room, if you're very sad and unhappy and always in bed, just getting up from that bed, making your bed, taking a shower, taking a walk, or even calling a friend. You're creating momentum, no matter how little. You're creating momentum, and that's all that matters. And always remember, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why? Always remember your why. like I said when I started, I'm taking a course, right? I'm sitting down here. I have my earphones to just, when you have your earphones over your ears, it helps you. It cancels all the noise around you, and it helps you to kind of focus on what you're doing. So that's why I'm alone in the little office, but I like to still have my earphones so that it helps me to focus and concentrate on the videos and think and do my assignments, do the projects, and all of that. But I always remember my why when I'm discouraged and I'm like, God, why am I still doing this course? Is too hard. And when I feel very tired, I remember my why. Like, okay, why am I taking this course? What's the end goal? When I remember why I'm doing it, when I remember my why, discouragement is just, it doesn't mean I'm not tired. It doesn't mean that I don't feel like I need to go and watch a movie or go and sleep or just go and chill with family and friends or just read a book or just, But when I remember my why, I keep going. I just keep going. I just keep pushing it. I just keep moving forward. Like, okay, I remember my why. I remember my why. And I keep going and I keep going. And your why could be anything. What's your own why? Is it your family members? Is it your kids? Is it your husband? Is it your mother? Is it your father? Is it your sister, your brother? Is it you? Is it a dream that you have? What's your purpose? And so if you reconnect with that purpose, just write it down. You reconnect with that purpose, write it down. Keep it somewhere visible, somewhere that you can see it every day, every morning when you wake up. Look at your why and say, read it out loud if you want, if you must. Read it out loud. And remind yourself of the bigger picture. Remind yourself of what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. So, yeah. That's the end of my little talk. I think I should be doing more of this kind of little talks while I'm doing my course, if I remember. If I get the boldness, like, get myself warm and say, okay, let me have a little chit chat. But thank you so much for all those who have connected and came, stopped around to listen to me. Just always remember your why and don't give up. And trust me, what is going on with you is not the worst. It just feels that way because you are in the middle of it. But it's not the worst that will ever happen to someone. Because where you are today, someone else is praying to get to where you are. There's always someone that looks up to you and like, wow, if I can just be like her, if I can be like him, if I can just be like them. But we're striving for the best, and the best is, you'll find it. You'll find what you're looking for as long as you don't give up. As long as you keep going and pushing on, you'll find it. Don't second guess yourself. Trust me, everyone has those moments when we second guess ourselves, but we push ourselves forward and we say, this is not where I want to stop. I'm going somewhere. And until I get there, I'm not going to stop. And always remember that he said, I will not leave you alone. He said, I will not leave you alone. I will not leave you alone. Be of good cheer, because I have overcome the world. Be of good cheer, because I have overcome the world. In this world you will have tribulations, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. These were the words of Jesus when he was leaving the disciples, and he knows they were going to be lonely, they were going to miss him, they were going to be scared, they were going to be persecuted, their faith was going to be challenged, they're going to wonder if they are in the wrong boats. Jesus reminded them that in this world, you're going to have tribulations, you're going to have opposition, you're going to have hard times, you're going to have haters, you're going to have scorners, you're going to have people that will make fun of you, people that will mock you, people that will make jest of you, people that will look down on you, people that will, ill-treat you and maltreat you. But he said, Be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. And when you remember that Jesus has already told you to be of good cheer because he overcome with the world, he has overcome the world, and he said, I'll be with you. I will not leave you. I'll be with you. He's with you right there in that situation where you find yourself. Jesus is with you. You might not see it, you might not feel it right now, but I want you to know that he's right there with you, right there beside you, right there praying for you. What a beautiful, beautiful thing to know that Jesus is praying for you and praying for me. So you're not alone. So don't feel alone. You have good cheer. Rise up from your bed, rise up from that dark room, rise up from your discouragements and wash your face, eat your food, sing a song, and just know that you're not alone. You are never alone. No, never alone. No, never alone. He promised never to leave you, never to leave you alone. No, never alone. No, never alone. He promised never to leave you, never to leave you alone. So remember that and have a good evening. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you for listening to my little chit chat. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Share your comments, share your thoughts. I want to learn from you too.